Welcome to Intuitive Transformations with your host, Sylvia Henderson, and discover tools, wisdom, and inspiration that will empower you to transform your life. Sylvia is an intuitive life coach and energy healer with a growing practice that is focused on empowering others to be more of who they want to be. For the next hour, join Sylvia and explore and unravel anything in the way of you creating the life that you would love to live on the OMTimes Radio Network.
Well, hello and welcome to Intuitive Transformations, the radio show where you will find tools you can use to transform your life. I'm Sylvia Henderson. I'm your host, and you can find me here on OMTimes Radio, IOM FM, every Sunday evening at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Times, for those of you on the West Coast. This is my second show on the brand new OMTimes Radio Network. Last Sunday, I did a show that was recorded because we wanted to just make sure that the sound quality was really top notch and everything fell into place as it should. So last week was a little bit of a practice show, but if you're interested in listening to it, because the topic for that show was how to move boldly into 2015, then I invite you to visit my radio show host page on OMTimes Radio and have a listen. Now, because IOM FM is a brand new network and my show is a brand new show on this brand new network, I'm just going to introduce myself again. I'm an intuitive life coach and I'm an energy healer. I have about actually well over 16 years of experience in the mind-body connection field. My specialty is helping people to release their stress, and in particular, stress in regards to love, career, finances, health, and, just overall well-being. I come from a point of view that we create our own reality, and that the reality we experience is simply the result of our beliefs, our perceptions, and our emotional judgments. And when we change our beliefs, our perceptions, and our emotional judgments, our life changes. So I help people identify the root cause or causes of their perceived predicaments, problems, and challenges. And once the root issues are exposed, I help them very quickly and efficiently remove and release those issues so that they can then experience their lives from a happier and more joyful point of view. If you're interested in learning more about what I do, who I am, and what's going on when I'm not on OMTimes Radio, then please feel free to visit my website at intuitivetransformations.net. And this is basically the same name as the radio show here. And if you visit my website, be sure to sign up for my newsletter and also click the Twitter and Facebook buttons and like me so that we can stay connected. And also, just to give you a heads up, my website is in the process of some transformation and some change. So don't be surprised if you look at it now and then you look at it later and things are a little turned around and a little different. Change is a good thing, and it's all about evolving and expanding. So I do have to just say one thing before I launch into the topic for today's show. I live in Kirkland, Washington, which is right outside of Seattle. And today was an amazing football game. And it's funny because I'm not really a football fan per se, but I am a fan of anything that has to do with Seattle. And I just want to give a nod to our wonderful Seattle Seahawks and congratulations on that really big win today. And I wish you the very best as you charge into the future and get to enjoy your second Super Bowl. Pretty amazing for Seattle here. We're having a good time with that. So it's kind of fun to talk about what we're going to talk about today, which is dare to dream greatly. And I have to say that I'm sure that there were some football players out on that field today that really dove into daring to dream greatly, and some of them ended up actually achieving their dreams. If you've been feeling stuck in any area of your life and uninspired about your future in any way, then this is going to be a really great show for you to listen to. And even if you aren't feeling stuck or uninspired, I think you're still going to find something that you can learn and that you can use that will elevate your life up a notch or two. So when I say dare to dream greatly, I want you to think about what pops into your head. What does that mean to you? I hope that you are imagining thoughts of some really kick butt, transformative possibilities and some really big, bold, and bodacious dreams that will absolutely set your soul on fire and inspire you to wake up every morning with excitement. Because that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about awakening your passion for life. No matter how old you are never too old to dream great big dreams for your life. Don't you think it's about time that you launch more of you into the world? And that's what we're going to talk about today. So just imagine how much more exciting and fun life could be if you step out of your comfort zones and move forward into the future with some fantastic, great big aspirations and great big dreams. Well, I hope that today's show will inspire you to do exactly that, because everything begins with imagination, a dream, and an idea. I would love it if you would give yourself permission to allow your imagination to just run wild in a positive direction. Because when you do that, magical things happen. Inspirational ideas begin to just pop into your head. Things that you didn't even think were are considered begin to become a reality for you. Your passion is awakened when you allow yourself to dream big, bold, bodacious dreams. I honestly think we spend far too much time focused on the mundane in our lives, and we forget how to dream, and we forget the power that we have within our dreams. And here's the thing. There actually was a time in your life, while you may not remember it very well, when your favorite pastime was daydreaming about what you would like to do with your life. You were probably very, very young, but there was a time when there was nothing that you could not do, or at least there was nothing that you believed that you could not do, and that anything that you imagined was absolutely possible. And I wonder if you remember how fun it was to use your imagination when you were a child. Everything in your imagination when you were young, when you were that little one, that maybe 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or even 7, everything that you imagined in your mind felt like it was your reality. I mean, do you remember doing things like making tents out of blankets and pretending that you were camping, and it really felt like you were out in the forest camping? It felt real to you. Or you would imagine that you were a pilot flying a plane, and it really felt like you were in that plane and flying it. Do you remember how good it felt just to daydream about what your life could be, what you could accomplish, what great things you wanted to create? So when you think about the artwork of young children, when you really take a look at it, have you noticed all the possibilities that they imagine and dream up when they draw a picture. It's so evident how active their imagination is and their capacity to dream and envision things that aren't even in present reality, but they're alive and vibrant within their own minds. To them, the sun doesn't have to be yellow. It can be green, or it can be purple, or it can be pink. Dogs can fly, and birds can sleep in beds that have blankets. And usually everyone, absolutely everyone, this is usually in a child's drawing, will have a great big happy grin on their face. Even the dogs have grins, and even the birds that have beaks, they have a big wide smile on their face too. So it's really kind of interesting that we used to be able to dream so boldly and unabashedly about things that weren't even in our reality. But what happened? How did we lose that? And in a moment, we're going to go to a break. But before we do, I want to leave you with this. Think about the dreams you used to have as a child. And if you can't remember your dreams, think about some of the pictures your children have drawn, or some of the things they talk about, or or some of the things you've seen children say and what comes out of their mouth. It is just filled and flooded with the gift of creativity and imagination on a very big and broad and bold scale. Even when you ask a child what they want to do when they grow up, it's flooded with imagination. So we're going to take a break, and when we return, we're going to finish this conversation about how to dare dream greatly.
Free your mind. Expand your soul. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM. Host your show on IOM FM, the radio network of OMTimes Media, one of the more recognized brand names in the conscious community, and is backed by the extensive marketing reach of OMTimes. Hosting a show on IOM FM immediately connects you with our extensive dedicated community.
The Laying On of Hands Healing Radio Show is about treating the whole person, mind, body, and spirit. Join me, Charles Smith, as I share life-balancing measures such as nutrition and spiritual practices to help you take charge of your own health and wellness every Thursday at 7 p.m. on OMTimes Radio.
Hi, this is Angela Levesque, host of Entanglement Radio. Join me Wednesdays at 12 p.m. Eastern for inspiring conversations with visionaries in spiritual science and conscious healing. Entanglement Radio, Wednesdays at 12 p.m. Eastern. Transcendent talk for the conscious mind.
As difficult as it is to believe, there are places in Africa where human traffickers sell albino children and their body parts for use in magic rituals. Humanity Healing International is actively working in Uganda to change this paradigm. The Albino Rescue Project finds albino children who are at risk and places them in safe schools and environments where they can learn and grow free from fear. To learn more or to sponsor a child, visit humanityhealing.org. Humanity Healing is where your heart is. The best of the holistic, spiritual, and conscious world. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
Hello and welcome back. This is Sylvia Henderson, and we are talking about Dare to Dream Greatly on the OMTimes Radio Network. Before we went to the break, I was sharing about the imagination that we used to have when we were young and when we were children. And I brought to mind the classic example of looking at a child's drawing and noticing how much of their imagination that they use when they are making pictures with crayons and painting, and how dogs can fly and everyone's happy, and it just brings a smile to your heart when you think about the joyfulness and the playfulness that they have with their creativity and their imagination. And for instance, even when you ask a child what they want to be when they grow up, have you noticed that they will give you a pretty long laundry list of all that they want to be and all that they want to accomplish? You know, when you ask them what they want to be, they might say, you know, hey, I want to be a fireman, and I want to be an airplane pilot, and, you know, I want to be a lion tamer, or I want to be a teacher. You know, they don't get caught up in how they will become a fireman or an airplane pilot or even a lion tamer. They just know that it feels good to imagine being those things. And they do a really great job at pretending to do that. And it brings them a great deal of joy, just daydreaming about what it would be, and you know, acting out what it would feel like to be a fireman in their mind's eye, you know, an airplane or a lion tamer. Now, they may decide that being a lion tamer is not the best choice for their future as they get older, but, you know, that's not the point. The point that I'm attempting to make is that the imagination of a child can be astonishing. But guess what? Your imagination can be astonishing too. But only you can allow yourself to dare dreamily. The most innovative accomplishments have come from people who think outside the box. We revere them for their vivid imaginations and their outlandish dreams and their amazing accomplishments. We gravitate toward individuals that use their imaginative power and creativity constructively. We read the books that they write. We listen to the music that they create and perform. We watch them imagine themselves as different characters in the movies and the television shows that we watch. And we use the technology that they create and develop to make our day-to-day living easier. Using your imagination is a very, very powerful thing. And when you dare to dream greatly, you are tapping into that imaginative, creative power in a very big way, and great things can happen. Using imagination unlocks the door to unlimited possibilities. Now, here's the thing. You daydream every day. Whether you realize it or not, you use your imagination on a regular basis. Every time you revisit something that has occurred in the past, or think about something that you think might happen in the future, you're using your imagination. It's called daydreaming, right? And just like those innovators and those inventors that are imagining and bringing their dreams into physical form, you too are also bringing your daydreams and imaginations into physical form. So when you dare to dream greatly, you actually rediscover the value of your imagination, and you reignite your passion for life and for living as a result. You see, everything that mankind has created started first as a dream in someone's field of imagination before it became a physical reality. And here's the key. No one ever stops dreaming. It's just that after we grow up, we forget to use our imagination creatively, constructively, productively, and expansively. We still use our imagination, but it tends to be not so creative, not so constructive, and not so expansively. We sometimes can use our imagination and our daydreaming time and thoughts to focus on the things that we don't like about our life, the things that we don't like about what we've experienced, and the things that we're concerned about that might happen in our future. But when we focus on creating really big, bold, and bodacious dreams, when we dare to dream greatly, that little stuff doesn't take up as much space in our thoughts because we have something really fantastic and exciting for our mind to focus upon. Our mind loves to be active. It's like a 2-year-old with ADHD. When we don't feed it with something positive, with something uplifting, and something exciting to focus on, it will obsess over anything and over everything that's going on in our lives. The good, the bad, and the indifferent. If what is going on in your life is really great, then the thoughts that run through your mind are not so much of a nuisance. But if what is going on in your life is not so great, well, then your mind will become your own worst enemy. So instead of creating something really beautiful in your life, you end up creating a lot of discomfort and other negative emotions and feelings. And when you're feeling these negative emotions, you begin to lose sight of just how powerful and how creative you really are. You forget that you are an innovative, creative being, and that no matter what has happened in your past, or how old you are, or how incapable you think you might be, you still have a lot of life ahead of you to enjoy and to explore, and a lot of possibilities and potentials ahead. We are creative beings, and we are lucky enough to live in a magnetic universe where like attracts like. Now, I'm sure that most of you have heard about the law of attraction, and maybe some of you have even heard about someone by the name of Abraham Hicks, who I believe is really why the phrase law of attraction has become such a household word, that a phrase that people, it's a catchphrase people now recognize very easily. But the thing is that the reason this has become such a buzz phrase in our society is because it really is a truth. We live in a magnetic universe. And so like does attract like. Even the earth has a gravitational pull. That's magnetic. We have a south and a north pole. Only one of those is magnetic, but we do attract what we think about and what we focus upon and what we imagine and daydream. And the trick is to make sure that you are magnetized for positivity so that you are attracting only positivity, or much more positivity than negativity. So here's something that's really fun that you can do that will assist you in creating some really awesome, phenomenal, great, big, bold, and bodacious dreams. One of the things I'd like you to think about doing is just taking some time for yourself to just reconnect with who you are. Just try to reconnect with that part of you that used to believe that life was your oyster, that you were able to really experience a life full of possibilities, and that you could have and be and do whatever it was that you wanted to have and be and do. You know, you could create something really phenomenal. You could, experience some prosperity and true abundance in your life. You could have a really phenomenal, loving, special relationship. And just, sit with yourself and take a piece of paper and get quiet for a moment and really start to think about what is it that you really want. I have to tell you that in working with some of my clients, I'm really surprised when I ask them, what do you want? That their list is very limited. It's not expansive like a young child with a whole bunch of options to choose from. It's usually just focused on something that will get them out of their immediate pain. Because they just don't want to feel the way that they're feeling or experience what it is that they're experiencing. But I really want to invite you to be able to move further beyond that and take some time out to ask yourself, what is it that you really want? What is it that would really float your boat if you knew that you could have it, if money wasn't an issue, if time wasn't an issue, if where you lived was not an issue, if what you believe your resources are at this time were not an issue, if there were no limitations, if the bottle cap was completely taken off and anything and everything was an option for you to choose from. And just begin to connect with that part of yourself, something that makes your heart soar. So we're heading into another break, and when we return, we're going to return and finish this conversation. So please stay tuned.
The Real Conscious Connection. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM. Being a radio host on IOM FM allows you to build your show on a rich platform with the power of the internet to fulfill your outreach goals and connect with a very specialized and global online audience, unlimited by time and distance. OMTimes Radio will provide you with web relevance, a recognizable conscious brand, and with the standard of excellence that has accompanied every single OMTimes endeavor. Host your show with OMTimes Radio Network.
Radio Namaste leads you down the yellow brick road into portals of consciousness with the blue collar goddess as your host. Interviews with humans who could be famous or just popular, and answers to everything are on the agenda. Tune into OMTimes Radio and drop in on Thursdays at 3 Eastern. It's a different brand of enlightenment.
The truth is, you can't change the world if you're broke. I know, I tried. Isn't it time you turned your life's calling into a profitable, freedom-based business? I'm Michelle Barr. Join me every Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern for Sacred Success.
OMTimes Magazine is one of the leading online content providers of positivity, wellness, and personal empowerment. A philanthropic organization, their net proceeds are funneled to support worldwide charity initiatives via Humanity Healing International. Through their commitment to creating community and providing conscious content, they aspire to uplift humanity on a global scale. OMTimes, co-creating a more conscious lifestyle. The future of internet radio is here. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
Hey there, welcome back. This is Sylvia Henderson, and we are talking about daring to dream greatly. We have talked about the imagination of a child, how we used to be able to just really step into those dreams and expand our awareness of what is really possible out there. We've talked about how in our society we really do value the people that are dreamers and that use their imaginations, because these are our innovators, these are our inventors, these are the people that we call genius, because they are thinking outside of the box and they're creating something new and different out of something that doesn't even exist, out of their pure consciousness and awareness. And we've also been talking about the importance of how do you step back into that and keeping your mind occupied. Because if you don't keep your mind occupied with some really wonderful, juicy, big, bold dream or vision of what you would like to accomplish or what you would like to experience, your mind is kind of like a little 2-year-old just running around chasing minute thoughts that aren't quite so productive. And before we went into the break, I was talking about one of the things that you could do that might help you and allow you to reconnect with that creativity within yourself. And that's just simply taking some time out and sitting and getting still with yourself and having a piece of paper or even a journal and just really asking yourself honestly, what is it that you want? And answering that question honestly without censoring the answer because you don't think that it's possible for you, or it's something, or you don't think that it's something that you could do. Just drop those limitations, those self-imposed self-limitations that are hindering you from really stepping out of the box and reaching for what you really want. Quite often, we don't ask for what we want because we don't believe that we can get it. So this is your opportunity to stop playing small and really see, what can I do? What would I like? What would I really, really want to achieve or acquire, experience that I haven't achieved or acquired or experienced yet? So that's just one of the things that you can do. And yeah, one more thing to revisit. I also talked about the fact that we live in a magnetic, attractive universe that like does attract like. And when you focus on these really big, daring, great dreams and give it a lot of attention and flesh it out, that in a sense you're really sending a signal out to the universe that's allowing all the resources and everything you need to fulfill that dream and make it a reality for yourself. So there's another thing I'd like you to try, and treat this as an experiment. I know this works, but if you're not, I want you to know that this works. So be open-minded. I want you to consider creating a vision board. And if you don't know what a vision board is, for those of you who haven't seen The Secret DVD, because that was where I think the thought of a vision board first came to consciousness on a mass scale. A vision board is basically a collage of words and pictures that emulate and embody what it is that you would like to, these qualities, attributes, experiences, events, or things that you would like to experience in your life in the future. And when you're doing a vision board, what I love about it is that it allows you to tap into that creative right hemisphere of the brain, because it's a little bit like arts and crafts. It's very creative, it's very playful, it's very fun. It's really a lot of fun to do. It'll take you back to that part of yourself that still remembers how to dream really big and boldly. It allows you also to connect with your subconscious awareness, because the subconscious mind, the language of the subconscious mind is images, sights, sounds, feelings, sensations, emotions, smells, taste, touch. And so when you are putting these vision boards together, and it's these pictures that really ignite within you this feeling of exuberance and joy and excitement about what else is possible beyond what you're experiencing today, or some words that really excite you and inspire you, and that when you look at those words, you feel something inside. Something magical happens. And so how you create a vision board is really quite simple. You get some magazines, and you get a poster board or some cardboard, and you get glue sticks, and you get some scissors. And then what you do is you sit down with your magazines and you start flipping through the pages. And you're looking for images, pictures, words that you look at and you go, I want that. You know, you see a word that embodes a quality. For instance, if the word is fearlessness, and you go, I want that. Cut that out. If you see an image of a couple that you can feel the love that they're sharing between each other by looking at that image, and you look at that and you go, I want that. Cut that image out. Cut out those words and those images that really ignite within you a passion for what you really want. And then when you cut, just make it, don't think like, okay, I have so much space on this board and I'm going to cut out 11 pages because I've strategically figured out how many pictures and images and words will fit on the board. Please don't do that. Step out of that analytical, right-minded kind of thinking and actually just let it flow. Don't worry about how many pictures you're cutting out. If they're too many, if they're too little, just cut them out. Any picture and every picture, just cut away. And if you have a lot of magazines, maybe you can't do it all in one sitting, and that's fine. You can get a little box and store your cut out photos and words and images and store them for the next time you sit down and go through the next stack of magazines until you feel like you have a really nice assortment of pictures and images and words to choose from. And then once you've done that, then the really cool thing starts. Then you get to start, kind of rifling through all of these really juicy, yummy pictures and words that make you feel really good when you read the word or when you look at the image. You feel like, wow, yeah, that traveling to Africa and riding on an elephant. Oh man, that would be just so awesome. I can see myself doing that, and cut those out and paste them on the board. You can use glue stick or tape. I suggest a glue stick because what I've found is that tape over time, it tends to lose its stickiness and your pictures will start falling off. But if you use just like some, the school quality, elementary school quality glue stick to glue your pictures and images on, they'll stay stuck to your poster board for a couple of years actually. And if you need to reapply it, you can. But make it just fun. Put on some fun music while you're doing this, and have your favorite beverage there, and just make it like your moment to create. And create things that have to do with your career. Create things that have to do with your health. Create things that have to do with your friendships and your love relationships. Create things that have to do with travel. Create little groupings on your poster board. Like you can have a section just for love relationships, or you can have a section just for travel, or you can just, have everything flood into everything, just whatever works for you, because everybody, creates differently. Just the key here is to have fun with it and enjoy it and really dive into it fully. And I have to say that last night I had a fantastic time because a girlfriend of mine, she hosted a vision board party. And she had over 22 women were there because I counted. I was just really amazed. There were women everywhere. And we all brought our magazines and our scissors and our glue sticks and our poster board. And we were on couches and sofas and chairs and on the floor. And the age range was everywhere from individuals that were in high school still, because some of the ladies brought their daughters, to women who were grandmothers. And it was so much fun. And so we were chatting and laughing and talking and cutting out our images and talking about what we were planning our lives to be in the future, and sharing and sipping on wine, and it was so much fun. And so if that sounds like something really exciting that you would like to do, then I would encourage you to do something like that and have your girlfriends over, or, make it a couples party and have a bunch of couples over and do a big vision boarding party, because it's a great way to ignite that ability that you've had in you ever since you were born into this world, to create and imagine what you want your life to be. Because truly, that's why we're here. And you can also do this as a family event. So I'm going to talk about vision boarding a little bit more after the break. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll be right back.
Bringing a more conscious lifestyle to your world. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM. Host your show on IOM FM, the radio network of OMTimes Media, one of the more recognized brand names in the conscious community, and is backed by the extensive marketing reach of OMTimes. Hosting a show on IOM FM immediately connects you with our extensive dedicated community.
Hi, my name is Monica and I'm the host of Co-Creating Now. Give yourself an opportunity to connect with your all-knowing higher self and manifest joy, love and peace together every Tuesday, 11 a.m. Eastern.
Have you bought into the idea that you have to work hard for your money, that business is hard? I will share some dynamic access consciousness tools to get you out of your own way so you can create a business that actually succeeds. Join me, Simone Millisers, on The Joy of Business at 4 p.m. Mondays Eastern.
The number one reason girls drop out of school in sub-Saharan Africa is lack of access to feminine hygiene products. The Pads for Schoolgirls Project, an outreach of Humanity Healing International, is changing this paradigm by setting up sewing programs at schools, teaching girls a vocational skill, while producing the reusable pads that help keep them attending classes. The girls pay it forward by making and giving pad kits to other girls in need. To learn more, visit humanityhealing.org. Humanity Healing is where your heart is. Your conscious connection to a more mindful world. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
Hi there, and welcome back. You're listening to Intuitive Transformations with Sylvia Henderson, and yes, that is me. And I just want to remind you, if you didn't hear, the beginning of the show, who I am, and I'm an intuitive life coach, and I'm an energy healer, and my specialty is helping people to release their stress, in particular, stress in regards to love, career, finances, and health. And I also want to remind you that I really come from a point of view, and I really do believe that we create our own reality, and that the reality we experience is the result of our beliefs, our perceptions, and our emotional judgments. And we have been talking for some time now about how to dare to dream greatly and why that's such a great idea. And here's the thing. This is a brand new year, folks. This is 2015. This is a great time for you to actually allow yourself to give more of yourself to the world, to really expand and enjoy life on a much fuller, broader, and expansive level. And so, what better time than now to start to dream greatly, to start to create some really big dreams? And so we've been talking about before the break how to create a vision board, because this is a great tool that, you can use in the privacy of your home, or, as I was sharing before the break, you can host a vision board party and have a bunch of your friends over and create a vision board together. Each of you individually create vision boards and just really have fun sharing with excitement how you want your life to be, because that just builds the energy bigger. And when people are there to acknowledge your truth, it supports you, and it sends even a stronger signal out into the universe of, yeah, this can happen. And I've got somebody in agreement with me that this can happen. One of the things that we did at the vision board party that I did, and I really want to give my girlfriend great kudos for how she put all that together. It was lovely. She fed us, she had music playing. There was any beverage you wanted to drink. We just had so much fun. And it was a great time for everybody to reconnect and to meet new people as well. But as we were coming to the end of the evening, and I think we spent a good chunk of 3 to 4 hours at her home, some of the ladies there had actually fully completed their vision boards. And so the ones who had done that, they stood up in front of a nice sized group of us, and they went through what every single word and every single picture meant to them. And it was so much fun, because the joy that was on their faces was the same kind of joy that you see on a child's face when they happily tell you what they want to be when they grow up, with confidence and assurance. I mean, these ladies were, the way they stood, and they were just regal in their glory, sharing their dreams openly, and because they knew that it was a safe place to do so. They knew we weren't going to say, you can't do that. They knew we weren't going to say, who are you to think that that's going to happen for you? No, none of that was going on. They knew we were going to say, you go ahead, girl. You're going to accomplish that. I can see you doing that. It was so much fun, and it was so empowering. So this is something that you can do, like I said, in the privacy of your home. You can host a party or get a bunch of your friends together that want to put a vision board party together, or you can even do it with your family. Children love doing vision boards. It's really fun, because that is where they live. They love creating. And so you can have every person in your family create their own individual vision board, and then you can get together and applaud each other for what each one of you wants to accomplish in your life. And then, if you really want to make it fun, you can also take a look at everyone's vision board in your family and say, okay, let's make a group family vision board where you take bits and pieces of what's important to each one of you and put them on a vision board for your family so that you can look at that and say, yeah, this is what we want to see happen for each one of us. And we're standing in agreement and we're all in unity on this, that this is going to happen for each and every person that's here in our family. Now, this is also something you might want to think about if you are in a relationship with someone, if you're married or if you have a partner, that you two together can create your individual vision boards, because I think it's important for, especially in a relationship, that you each have your own sense of identity, sense of purpose, what you see yourself, your own personal dream, what you see yourself as possible, or even impossible at the time to accomplish, but something that makes your heart soar. And then you can share it with each other, and it provides you as couples to really explore some deeper insights into each other and even understand each other better, and also support each other in a relationship with your dreams. And now, it's not about holding someone to, you have to do these steps because that's on your vision board. No, you don't do that. It's not about micromanaging somebody with their vision. It really is just about, applauding them for having the vision, and knowing that the universe is going to be taking care of how it happens, because you've put that out there, sent that out there into the universe. It's the universe's job to make sure that that comes into play. I mean, if you go on the internet and Google vision boards, and you can read stories, testimonies about how the things that people have put on vision boards have manifested almost magically. I mean, the gal who hosted the party that I went to last night, she started off the evening about a vision board that she had done a year prior, and she had cut out a photo of a bed, and she had forgotten about the vision board, and she had moved and she had purchased actually a brand new bed, and it wasn't the same bed that she had cut out and put on the board. But the funny thing was, and she didn't even realize this, when she purchased her comforter, it was the same comforter that was in the photo, and she hadn't really even paid attention to that. So those kind of things start to happen. I know I created a vision board about 6 months ago, and some of those things are already starting to happen. So there really is some power in this, and it's fun, and it allows you to revisit the joy of dreaming greatly when you do these vision boards. It really is exciting. So, and that's the other thing. So as couples, that's what I wanted to say. And I was talking about how you can each individually make your boards. And then as a couple, if you're in a committed relationship and you think you're going to be doing a lot of things together, then you can sit down together and look at each other's perspectives and point of views of what you individually want to achieve, and then see how can you marry that together and create a one vision board for your relationship, for the future of your relationship. So that's a fun idea to throw out there as well. So we've talked about a lot. We've talked about the importance of daring greatly. We talked about the importance of your imagination and the real value that there is in daydreaming, and how innovations and inventions and creativity and many great things have come from daydreaming and imagination. The car you're driving was first just someone's idea in their imagination. The home you live in was first just a thought before it became a physical reality in some architect's mind. Businesses begin with a thought, an imagination, and then they build it into a dream. This radio network was first just a thought in someone's mind before it became the reality that it is now today. So there is real power in allowing yourself to dare to dream and to dare to dream greatly. And it really does not matter what has happened in your life. And it really does not matter what you think your possibilities could be. It's not about basing it on the education that you have, or your net worth, or the relationship that you're in right now that may or may not be working. It really is about what inspires you. What do you want? Revisit that, because when you do, your life begins to change. So I hope that this show has inspired you to allow yourself to dare to dream greatly and to have fun and to not hold back. Do not allow yourself to think that you should have something, or that you shouldn't have something, or that you deserve something, or that you're not good enough to have it. Don't edit or critique your dreams anymore. Just allow them to flow. Just allow them to spill forth out of your consciousness and create some really exciting new realities for your future. And make them as big and bold and bodacious as you want them to be. And you will be surprised about what happens in your future, because dreams do really come true. Thank you for joining me. And I hope you come back and listen next week. Take care. Goodbye for now.
The best of